Feeling overwhelmed by big goals? What if I told you that you can make significant progress in just 15 minutes? Today we'll explore how micro steps can lead to big wins and how you can achieve a small victory in less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee. Stick with me here. Join me on this journey. Hey there, I'm Katie Joy, the Global Butterfly, founder of theglobalbutterfly.com and the Awaken with Love and Rise with Pure Joy podcast, where I share my ideas, insights, strategies, and method for awakening, healing, and manifesting to design your life and live your dreams. I teach these to my hundreds of clients inside my paid programs, and now I share them with you. In every single video, you are going to get one strategy that will help you realize your goals that you can immediately implement after watching. And today, I'm going to share with you micro steps for big wins and how to achieve your goals in just 15 minutes. So the biggest challenge that I see repeatedly with anyone who has a big goal is that they see the goal in their mind's eye as this big clump of energy, like this one big thing. And the approach typically is to go straight for that one big thing. But what happens? We typically put it off because we don't think we have the time or the energy or the strategy or the clarity on how to bring that big thing into realization. And so we tend to second guess ourselves, doubt ourselves, go into chitter chatter about, I'm not going to be able to do that. I haven't got the time. I haven't got the energy. I don't know where to start. I'll put it off to when I have that energy or when I have that time. And that never comes, does it? So then that actually feeds this negative energy cycle of not feeling good enough that you can actually go for it. Or you feel like your dream goal goes further and further and further away off into the distance. So let me address what the biggest strategy is to be able to go for big goals and actually have victory. It's as simple as this. Now, I'm saying simple, but it's not easy because most people are stuck in this program of focusing on perfection and focusing on what is still the gap rather than the gains. But the key here is to focus on micro steps, how to chunk down that big goal into smaller chunks and then smaller chunks, and then to take action on those very first steps. So let's define a micro goal first. In my world, a micro goal is anything that you can complete in 15 minutes or less. That's a micro goal. So what that simply means is you're going to chunk down that big step into smaller units so that you can identify a time frame. It might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, or it might be 15 minutes. But when it's in that small unit of time, you will be able to fit these little micro goals into the small pockets of possibilities that you have throughout your day while you're balancing all your responsibilities, your family, your business, your career, your partner, your hobbies, your sports, your health and well-being, self-care. All of this can be very fulfilling, very balanced and harmonized if you break down your goals to small enough units. You chunk them down into micro steps. And one of the biggest strategies that I love to share in creating clarity around what I'm speaking here so you can go and implement. I'm going to give you an example that everybody can relate to, whether you're an entrepreneur with a big vision and a big business or big projects within your business to complete. Or maybe you're a professional working in an industry and you still have big goals, maybe they're professional goals, maybe they're side business goals, maybe they're family goals or personal goals. Or maybe you're a parent and you're also juggling all these responsibilities and you still have your own big goals, not just for yourself, maybe for your family, but you're wondering, how do I bring them into life? So one of the biggest things that I want to address first is the invisible component. So it's not, most people think it's external things that are blocking them. It's their job, it's their business, they're too busy, juggling many activities in their business, or their family. They've got, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. And so there's no time for themselves or their goals. And I just want to actually challenge that and let you know that the energetics are actually what's blocking you. And behind that is the thinking process, the mental and emotional blocks. So here's not just a metaphor, but an example of how to chunk down your goals into micro steps that every one of those ideal situations could relate to and implement. So have you ever decluttered your house or decided you're going to declutter your house? Perhaps you've moved, or perhaps you just want to redecorate your home, or maybe you just want to clean up. And you realize, I want to declutter my house. And you're like, oh, as a big goal, you want to put that off. And you think, sounds nice, not going to start today. But here's an example of how you break that down, is that you're going to break the idea of the house as a unit, inside and outside, into spaces and rooms. So you chunk that down already. And then inside of that, you're going to chunk down each one of those spaces and rooms. So for example, you'll have the lounge room that you want to, clear the coffee table. You're going to throw any rubbish away. If you've got kids, you know what I'm talking about. They stuff rubbish into the cracks in the lounge, under the lounge. They leave it on the coffee table. You find Lego pieces in all sorts of places. Maybe you've got beads and whatnot. But the point is, you want to be able to look at all the different places. So chunk it down. So maybe it's the TV in the TV unit. Maybe it's the coffee table. Maybe it's the lounge chair or couch or seats. Maybe it's the floor, including underneath the lounge. Maybe it's dusting as well. What about cleaning the blinds and also cleaning the walls? You know, those dirty little handprints that tend to show up everywhere. So, and you have pets. You don't have kids, but you have pets, and you've got those elements around the room, and you want to do a big decluttering clean. So straight away, you've gone from, okay, here's the whole house, to we've got one room to start with, and now you're going to have a look at that area, not only to clean, but you also might have a toy box, a bookshelf. You might have all these elements and things with drawers. So before I continue, I want to just energetically reveal to you here, when you've cleaned a house and you've tidied up and you've removed a lot of clutter, have you ever noticed how much lighter and brighter it feels? It literally lets more light in. There's less stuff in the way absorbing light, and so now more light radiates. You also feel better in that space. True? Yes? So when you declutter a house and you've got your environment in your space that feels really great, that's a reflection also of your inner self. And also, when you clear energetic blocks mentally and emotionally, those resistance, those thought loops, the negative thinking, the programming, the stories you tell yourself as examples, and the old identities of who you think you are, but they're not matching with where you want to go. All of those act as energetic blocks, clutter, if you like, that are inside your mental and emotional space that prevent you from feeling light and bright to move with focused and energy towards your goals. So I love the idea of mentally seeing your house and decluttering your house and using that as an example of clearing your space outside yourself that will create clearing and space inside yourself as well. But while I step you through this, I'm showing you how to break down a big goal, and so that you can chunk it down. So going back to our list of the lounge room where we have these different elements, maybe you go, okay, you write your list now. This is really important. Write down the goal, create a list. Now, next to each one of those components, you can actually put down, okay, it will take me 5 minutes to clear the coffee table. Put that down. I get so excited that I just tend to stumble over my words sometimes, but I'm going to continue here. And so you will clear that. Then you've got, okay, that's 5 minutes. I know I can do that anytime, right? You've got 5 minutes to do that. The next thing, then, you're like the bookcase. Maybe you want to reorder the books and clear out the things that have been stuck on the bookshelf that don't really belong there. And so you're like, okay, that's going to take me 15 minutes. So you put that one down as a unit of time for that portion. Maybe it's like, okay, I want to dust the windowsills and the tables and clear that space. Well, okay, you know what? That's going to take you 5-10 minutes max. Maybe you've got Venetian blinds or something in your room and you've got to take a little bit more time, 15 minutes. Or if it's going to take you longer for that component, guess what? Chunk that down as a unit of time as well. Are you getting this? Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Because what happens is when you create a possibility for yourself and your clarity about what you're going to do, how long it's going to take you, and when you make these micro goals and they become micro wins and you tick that off, the psychology of winning is building this pathway of evidence for you to see the progress that you were making. And so guess what? You actually have the energy and you're excited and you make more time, more space in your schedule, prioritizing to do another micro win. Because once you get started, you want to have that completion. And because you can see how you can complete it, it becomes a real possibility for you. And that possibility turns into a realization, eventuality. So that's how you want to be able to move forward. You want to be able to chunk the big goals down into smaller units and then smaller units until you get micro goals, anything under 15 minutes. And then you can put a unit of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes. You want to write these down and you then decide, one of the things I like to do, because I write a list down and then I put the units of time, then I'll actually write next to it on the left-hand side, my order of priority. I'm like, all right, I'm going to tackle this one first. It's 5 minutes. I'm going to get a win on the board. And then, I'll do the school drop off and I'll come back and I've got 15 minutes before another client. Okay, well, I'm going to do that component there. And this translates across to any goal, right? Whether it's book writing, book publishing, course creation, content creation. When you've got clarity about your big goals into smaller units, you can then prioritize them into your day. And before you know it, you've actually got momentum every single day with a minimum of a 15-minute block. But often what happens is you end up filling, 3-4 of those into your day. There's an hour's worth of momentum, goal wins, micro goal wins every single day. Imagine now how that stacks in a week, in a month, in 90 days, in half a year, in a year. How different would your life be? Because you've actually taken, momentum, you've taken action, you've got that momentum, and now those micro wins lead to big victories. So if this has been really big value, please let me know. What is something out of this that you've really engaged with and it's got you excited? Leave a comment down below. And while you're there, hit like, hit subscribe, and make sure that you share this with somebody as well. But I want to wrap this up to really let you know that most people focus on two key things that get them in the way here. One of them is that they focus on perfection instead of progress. And the other one is that they focus on the gap, not the gains. And both of those will have you mentally and emotionally spiraling down in energy, feeling depleted, feeling defeated, and not taking action. But when you actually set these goals into smaller units, into the micro steps, and you focus on the little gains that you make each and every day and celebrate those little victories, and then you will focus on the gains, not the gap, you'll see this pathway of progress that you're making. And the joy is in the journey, not just the destination. You'll have so much more fun. You'll have more confidence. Your willingness to take action increases, and you start actively participating in your own joyful manifestation. So with lots of love, light, and manifesting miracles, magic, and more, and from my heart to yours, go take a micro step today. Come back and tell me what it is, and we'll celebrate your win together. Take care. Until the next episode, I'll see you next time.